My name is Miss Martin, and today I'm going to teach you a little bit about how to put together your new instrument. Trombone was a really good choice. It's kind of cool because it's one of the only instruments, in fact the only wind instrument, that doesn't have any valves or any keys. Instead, a trombone uses a really cool slide to change pitches. The first thing you need to know about your trombone is how to open the case. It's really important that you always have the top of the case facing the ceiling. A good way to figure that out is to look for the brand name on your case. My brand name is Reynolds. It might be a little bit hard to see, but this is the top of my case, so when I place it on the floor, I'm going to have this part facing the ceiling. Also, when you open your case, you always want to make sure the bell is to your left, so I can put my left hand on my bell before I open my case. It's really important that you don't open your case on your lap because it's kind of big and it's a little awkward. Always on the floor. I'll put my case on the floor, open up the latches, and you'll find that there are two main parts to your instrument. The trombone is an instrument in the brass only that you actually have to put together. The first thing that we're going to pick up with our left hand is the bell. This is the bell of the instrument. The sound comes out of the bell. I'll hold the bell in my left hand as I pick up the other part of the instrument with my right. This is the slide. The slide is what helps change the pitches on a trombone. To put these two parts together, you'll see that there's a little bit of a screw on top of the slide and a screw on top of the bell. We're going to marry the two parts of the instrument and put the bell on top of the slide. This is called the connector nut. Once the bell is sitting on top of the slide, you can twist the connector nut righty-tighty until it's really snug. The next thing you need to do to make sure it's properly put together is move the slide slightly in. What I'm going to do is put pressure with my right hand and hold the bell with my left and twist in until there's about 2 inches or 1.5 inches in between the slide and the bell. Too close is no good, and too far is really hard to do. So about 1.5 to 2 inches and you're good to go. The last thing we need to put on the trombone is the mouthpiece. This is a trombone mouthpiece. We're going to put the skinny part of the mouthpiece into the receiver that's on top of the slide. The mouthpiece is what we buzz into to make a sound on the trombone. The next thing we need to do is figure out how do we hold this thing. Well, the first thing you'll have to do is take your left hand, and I'll turn around so you can see what it looks like. My left hand is going to make an L. You're going to take this L shape and you're going to wrap your thumb around the brace that's on the bell. You're going to take your pointer finger in your L shape and you're going to point it straight across this brace right here, the one right lining up with the mouthpiece. So thumb around this brace and your pointer finger straight across this brace. My other 3 fingers, you can see, are wrapping around and tucking in just nice and snug in between this first slide brace and the second slide brace. That's how we hold the instrument with our left hand. All of the weight of the instrument is always held just in the left hand. For my right hand, I'm going to take my 2 little fingers right here and my thumb, and I'm going to make little pinchers out of them. And I'm going to take this slide brace and just hold it very gently on the slide brace like so. We never want to use our whole fist. It makes playing fast really hard. So I'm going to take my thumb and 2 fingers, and that way I can keep my wrist nice and loose and move my slide up and down just like that. The last thing we need to do to hold our instrument is figure out what it's going to look like when we're actually playing. Again, wrap my thumb around the brace, pointer finger up to the mouthpiece, right hand nice and loose, all of the weight in my left hand, and I'm going to bring the trombone up, holding it all in my left hand, slightly below parallel. You don't want it up here, and you certainly don't want to be down here. And that is how we're going to hold our trombone. Now that you know how to put the trombone together and how to hold it, let's talk about taking it apart. The first thing that you're going to do is remove the mouthpiece that you slightly twisted in before so it was nice and snug, and put that back in its special spot in the case. The next thing you're going to do is untwist your connector nut, lefty-loosey. You'll take the trombone bell off of the slide and you'll put each of these in their special place in the case. It's important to snap all the snaps that are in your case to make sure that your trombone stays in the case nice and snug. After your trombone is put back in the case properly, you can close the case and you're good to go.